Hello everyone, and welcome back to Conquer the Frontier at the New Frontier. We have reached episode number 27, and as you can see we have left winter behind. It's March time, and spring has decided to rear its head. And fortunately for us, the farmhouse build has gone into the next stage. We have a bit of a porch constructed, and the sort of supporting beams around the porch, which is nice. I think we're getting ready to build the second story. It looks like the steps are in as well, which is really nice to see. But as you can hear, there's no construction work going on. So Nordic and I have got to fill in the next building materials for the next stage, which is going to be some wood beams, I believe. So we'll nip over to the workshop, the sawmill, and we can grab, I think it's 4 pallets of wood beams is what we need. And yeah, then today it's going to be on to some spring tasks. We of course extended the field around Albert Park last time and got that ready for drilling, and we want to put grass in that because we've got grass in the first part of Albert Park already. So we'll make that nice and extended, so we've got a good area of grass to mow up once it is long enough. And then I think we've also got a spare field over there, which is the extension to Veterans Park, where Nordic and I are going to plan to put some oats. Cool, I can see Nordic has had his Weetabix this morning and is loading up the wood beams. Let me see if I can help him out as well. Cool, Nordic has definitely been eating his vegetables as well as his Weetabix. Let's get this all strapped in, shall we? There we go. So we are not going to lose it on the short journey over there. Nordic can hop in as well. And yeah, I'm excited to see the next stage of the farmhouse build. We will have quite a number of stages, I believe, until it is fully constructed. I'm not quite sure on the number, but we just keep topping it up with the building materials and hope for the best, that it is ready as quick as possible, because that little shack that we are currently residing in is yeah, starting to get a little bit uncomfortable. There we go, wood beams have gone in. I've slightly collided with the fence, but construction has resumed. I can hear the workers working away, which is very nice. We can shut down the pickup and take a little gander. Yep, it was 4,000 litres of wood beams, which they now have, so it'll be exciting to check back and see how well it has got on. Right, Nordic, I think it's time for drilling, and as discussed, let's go buy a new drill. Sprinting over to the Fent, because you heard right, Nordic and I are going to be buying a new drill, and we're both jumping in the Fent because we're only going to buy one of these drills. And it's effectively going to be as large as, or larger than us running both of those smaller international drills. I think it is 9 meters wide, and it's within the horsepower capability of our Fent, which is good news. So yeah, we'll get down to the store and show you what Nordic and I have got in mind, and if it proves to be successful, we will probably buy another one, so Nordic and I can do some dual drilling when we've harvested some of the fields that we've got crops in already, which will be later on in the year. And yeah, we can then operate 2 larger drills. We'll probably have to let the old international seeders go, because otherwise they'll just be sitting around the yard. Bit foggy this morning, Nordic, eh? Are you comfortable there? But it's not foggy here. It seems to be nice and clear. Seems to always be in that dip where we see lots of the fog. Right, we can pull up here, and I don't know if Nordic's going to hop out and buy our new drill. There he goes. Cool, look at that. It's a big beast, 69,900. So let's just pull forward and we can get attached to it. Cool, yeah, it is a John Deere, and we'll have a look at the model number in a second, but I think it is the box drill. There we go. Yeah, John Deere 455. get hitched up. Fantastic. I think I'm actually going to hop out of the tractor and take a good look at it. Maybe Nordic can drive back, but oh, yeah, look at this. John Deere 455. It's got 3 sections, 2 on the side and 1 on the back with all of the discs. It's not a direct drill, but Nordic and I might look to upgrade it in the future. And one thing you'll notice is it has a tank here, so it can take seed in the drills, in the box drills, and then liquid fertilizer in the tank. I think we'll buy 4 bags of seed just so we have a good quantity. And I think 2 liquid fertilizers should do it for 6,400. Cool, it's quite expensive. Oh, there we go. Nordic has opened up the drill and is loading the seed. Oh, I don't know if 4 bags is going to be enough. Oh yeah, there we go. All the box tanks are full of seed, and I think it's full of liquid fertilizer now as well. And, oh yeah, we've got 1 spare, so that's quite handy. There we go. Nordic has hopped in. So, we are going to close the covers on the drill. We have got 2,000 litres of liquid fertilizer, 3,426 litres of seed, and yeah, we can head over to the Albert Park extension where we're going to put grass. So I better make sure we have got grass selected. There we go. Cool, this seed drill is pretty large, I'm not going to lie. Much larger than I was expecting it to be, but that's probably a good thing. The vent is actually struggling a little bit for once, pulling this heavy drill up the hill. Right, I think we'll turn right here, nip down this little pathway, which is proving to be quite useful now that we've got operations behind the BGA by way of this field. And I think we will just start on this corner. So let's head on in. What I'll do is I will turn around because I don't want to be starting by going up that quite steep hill. So yeah, let's spin around here. And we want to unfold the drill. Cool, it drops quite quickly there. Got grass selected, which is what we want. Okay, yeah, that unfolds quite quickly, which is nice. And it's actually got quite a long section, so it tows quite far behind, but that's perfectly fine. I think we probably need to switch it on. Yes, we do. And we'll pull forward a little bit and lower down. Cool, that is neat. Lovely job. Right, grass is going in, liquid fertilizer is being applied at the same time. So let's get this field nicely seeded with grass and join up Albert Park into one nice big extended field. And there we go. That is the Albert Park extension all drilled up with grass. Had to drive over a little bit of the grass to make turns and so forth. But we'll be hopping back in the tractor, and it's over to Nordic, who has selected oats. He's going to be drilling up the extension to Veterans Park, which is not as big an area, so it probably won't take Nordic as long as it took I to do the drilling of that field. I think he's just trying to negotiate the trees. There we go, I think he's found a way through. And yeah, alongside the tree line here we have the long field, and that was never named, so I'm actually thinking that that's just going to be called Longfield. So there we go, Longfield it is called. And we have Veterans Park plus the extension of Veterans Park, though I think that will just become Veterans Park. They will just merge and amalgamate names. And haven't had any suggestions for a new Albert Park now it has its extension, so I think we'll just refer to that as Albert Park as well. So yeah, we've got Creekside, Albert Park, Longfield and Veterans Park. So yeah, that is the field array for Creekside Farm. Right, Nordic has unfolded. We've still got a good amount of seed and liquid fertilizer, so let's get the oats into the other half of Veterans Park, which we will then merge together after harvest time. Nordic is folding up the drill, and that's the oats all in the second half of Veterans Park, which, yep, as mentioned, once we've reached harvest time, we will look to merge these two together, so it is truly one Veterans Park field. But we can get the lovely new John Deere 455 parked up, and I've got to say, I think the drill has done a grand job. The Fendt was slightly struggling with it up the hill on the Albert Park extension, but I guess that's to be expected because it is uphill, it's a large drill, and yeah, the Fendt is, despite it being one of the higher horsepower tractors on our farm, it is still only a medium-sized tractor. So at some point Nordic and I will have to look at upgrading tractors even more so. The Steer is probably the highest horsepower tractor we've got at 190 horsepower. I think the Fendt is around 140, 150, something like that. So yeah, pretty good. But we are going to have to try and find some space for this drill. And ironically, the next job that Nordic and I have got is to do exactly with creating some new shed space. So I think I recall mentioning last month that we had a couple of options with some space to clear with regards to forestry, and we opted to clear the patch of trees between what is now the Albert Park extension and the old Albert Park, so we could merge the field space. And the second option was to clear the trees behind this shed so we can place another shed, and that's exactly what Nordic and I are going to do this afternoon. We're going to grab the forestry machine and set to work doing some clearing of the tree land behind this shed so we can put another one in and hopefully create ourselves a lot more shed space. Right, I think that is the drill being dropped off now. I think I will grab the steer so we can do some winching. The steer is probably going to be the best because it is the beefiest horsepower wise, so let's jump in that. Nordic can park up the Fendt. I will be wanting the winch which, yeah, both of them are over here. So I can grab one of these. There we go. Winch attached. So we can work our way over here. And over here is where we are going to be working. I think Nordic has sprayed up some of the trees already to mark where we are going to cut. And we did work down in this area not too long ago when we extended Creekside Field. So what we'll do is we'll just park up and hop out to see where Nordic has marked, because I believe he has marked some of the trees. There we go, I can see one in front of me. So this is the line that we are going to be following. Everything left of this line we are going to cut down, and this is going to create a nice space here where we can place another shed and hopefully have a bit of a cut through track dead ahead that goes behind the silo and loops in with the rest of the yard. So that is the plan. I think whilst I wait for Nordic to come over with the forestry machine, which is going to be very slow to crawl over here, I'm going to clear some of these stumps. So let me crack on with clearing these, and once Nordic is over here we can get to doing some winching, and then Nordic and I will probably swap over so we can have a round in the forestry machine as well. winding my way through the pile of trees, and we can shut down here. As yeah, we've done a fair amount of winching. We've cleared out Nordic's main path that he took to get to this point here. But cool, I think Nordic has got quite a lot of trees here to winch. We've left him quite a tall order, I think. But it's our turn to do some forestry. So here he is. Hello, Nordic. I think he's just been clearing some stumps away. Nice job. Excellent. Right, well, yes, we will carry on the work. We've got all these trees here still to clear, so it might actually be a job that spans quite a bit longer than we anticipated, because can't see the wood through the trees here. But nonetheless, let's get into the JCB, fire it up, and we want to turn on the harvester. There we go, and get it lifted up and get into position. What I think we'll do is we will cut to the right hand side and then just work our way up and down and edge ever so slightly closer to the shed, so we have cleared out this whole space, and by the end of it, hopefully, we have got a nice clear patch of land. There we go. We've shut the JCB excavator down, and we have done quite a lot of chopping. As you can see, there is a rather large amount of logs and wood that needs to be winched back to either the sawmill or the wood chipper. So Nordic and I have really got our work cut out for ourselves. I think we've reached the end of the working day, And yeah, this job unfortunately is going to span into another day, another month, but that's fine because I think it's all going to be worth it. And despite Nordic and I picking probably the hardest location to clear, as it's very, very dense, we are gaining lots of wood from it for our sawmill and our wood chipper, which is excellent. But also it's going to keep the sheds close to one another. So yeah, that's always something that Nordic and I have to bear in mind when we're thinking of projects and places to put things. We want to try and make our lives as easy as possible, but sometimes you just have to grind through or chop through, as the case might be in this situation. And yeah, we've still got a way to go, but I'm just trying to clear up some of these stumps so we have a nice clear path through to either winch or to get to the next trees to cut. And yeah, I think Nordic has taken his last load over to the sawmill and wood chipper, so I think we're probably ready to call it a day. Alright, Nordic is back from the last job of winching. I've cleared as many stumps as I can see for now, but it has been a rather large job, hasn't it, Nordic? Yeah. But there we go, that is it for today. I think next time we are going to be starting out trying to finish this job and get this area cleared. Plus it's going to be later in spring, so I'm hoping we're going to have some more field work to do. But I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out Nordic's channel for his perspective of today's session. And as always, if you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like us to do, then feel free to leave a comment. All that's left to say is I hope to see you again next time on Conquer the Frontier at the New Frontier. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.